am back. For archival purposes, we are streaming at 1080p, 6000 bitrate. Currently 3:57 PM on Wednesday, the 20th of September, 2023. Now, briefly, before we go and talk to Radio Man, let's just break down a little bit of something from what recently happened and the two major bugs that made that far more frustrating than it needed to be. Granted, keep in mind, I'm sure that there are other perks, abilities, armor, chems, whatever I could have used to make that a lot easier. And there are probably things that I did in there that I didn't do myself any favors. Right, that was far, far, far from flawless, even if I hadn't encountered these two things. The two things that I do want to bring to light that do make things prickly in there, let's say. We'll pick a word that sounds fun. Two things that made that a bit more prickly than it needed to be was, one, the guards and AI and stuff being able to see you from so far, or when they were already aggroed and stuff, that they would half drop aggro, I guess. I'm not really sure of what the word would be. They sort of would half drop aggro, so they would be like, I know where you are. Like, oh, it must have been the wind, wink. And then they stare at you wherever you are, even if you're on the other side of a wall. Which means you can't, and as we made the joke, you can't poke out a pube without them being like, there they are, because they already know where you are. They're already looking at you. And they watch you when you're behind walls and stuff. So when you do poke out, they're already staring straight on you. They're just waiting for clear line of sight. Even if you're miles away. Right? And it happened a few times. Sometimes they'd disengage completely. Sometimes they'd only have this half disengage where they would keep staring at you. Like they're still aggroed, but they're not allowed to move, you know? Like a guard dog being held on a leash, really wanting to go after something. And then the other bug, and I'm calling these bugs because I don't think that they're intentional. The other bug was with the puppeteering thing, the manipulation power thing that you get, instead of it being something that was kind of like subliminal thought, like you're just convincing somebody to, hey, go over and press this button. They're like, hey, I really need to press that button right now. Or, hey, I really need to leave this room right now. You're changing somebody's team flag. So if you're in an area where you have people that would shoot you on sight, or shoot your companion on sight if they saw them, the moment that you use the puppeteering thing on any NPCs, even if that's like a scientist that has to go to like a door to unlock it for you, so that like the whole thing that it's built around, they would go, oh, because suddenly this other character, this other, I don't know what you want to call him, if you want to call him an actor, or if you want to call him an NPC, or if you want to call him AI, whatever, this other NPC that's standing near them, their team flags has suddenly gone from red to green. And the guards go, oh no, we have to shoot green team. Green team's bad. We're red team. Red team's good. If we see any green team, we have to shoot them on sight. And that NPC's suddenly gone, I'm green team. Do they shoot him? Because they have the equivalency of like a companion following you around. And that's why whenever I would first charm one, they would immediately be like, I'm going to get them. And they'd run over to you. Like, this is the ones that you charm. They would run full pelled over to you. Saint says, Bethesda better buff stealth in the next update and remove the asteroid stuck to my ship. So, I don't think they need to buff stealth at all. I don't. I think stealth's fine. I think stealth as it is fine. I could be wrong. But from the bit of experimentation that we did in doing stealth missions, I think that there are bugs in regards to stealth. I don't think that stealth needs to be buffed. Once I took off the heavy armor and I was sneaking around at the start of this particular mission that we just did, stealth completely shifted for me, and it was a lot easier to stealth. But the two bugs that fucked things over for me was that sometimes when AI got aggroed, even when they disengaged, like when they were like cautioned and hunting for you, even when they disengaged and hit that must have been the wind moment, they would continue to stare at you, so you couldn't like move around them anymore. And then alternatively, the second thing was that whole you can't use the mind control power, which this quest line is based around, because the enemies would become aggressive to each other and all hell would break loose. And I could have cleared the place out doing that, and it would have been probably a lot more fun. But considering 95% of this quest chain so far has been deathless, has been bloodless. There was one mission that we went into where we had to kill a bunch of Ecliptic mercs because they were like going there guns blazing. We're like, okay. But everything else, we haven't, like no one's died. Getting to that and putting myself under those rules, I inflicted that upon myself. It was my fault that that mission was as prickly as it was, because I could have dropped everything and just been like, screw it, I'll just get them all to shoot each other, that'll be fun. But it shouldn't have gotten to that, you know? Anyway, just observations, you know? Alright, we currently have burns, which give us melee attacks deal less damage. Okay, well, I'll just be burnt for a while then. That's fine. Let's go talk to Radio Man. I'm currently trespassing. Residents will become hostile if you stay. But I'm not, though. I swear, if this screws me around, by the way. So remember this save. You know what? I'm even going to take a screenshot of it. Remember that save? That's the save that was the end of that mission. Because we're currently trespassing, apparently. But I'm hoping once this mission's done, it's just going to stop.
I am glad there is still a reliable source of news in the settled systems, though it often travels significantly slower than light.
It does, it does. G'day, David. How you doing, bud?
Can I help you?
Maybe? I have a news story that you'd be very interested in.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. What's this so-called story about?
Find out for yourself. Details are all on this slate.
All right. I'll take a look. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence.
I can't reveal my sources, but I'm sure you get that.
Of course. I just hope your source is as reliable as you think they are. Maybe your friend here would care to comment?
The friend has no comment.
I see. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source?
Anonymous.
Why am I not surprised?
We've met,
As
by the
long
way.
as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner.
Damn.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
Obviously. I need to talk to you too. Hey, Nadia.
You talk and get paid. I spread the news. It's a classic win-win.
You know there's a bank robbery in Aquila City?
You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true?
Yeah, it was my first time there too. Welcome to Aquila. I don't mind the robbery.
I hear the robbers are provided free of charge. All part of the service.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang?
Well, I negotiated with the gang and talked them down.
You did what? I mean, you're well spoken. But a hostage negotiator?
Yep.
I'll do some research and make sure that checks out.
You can check in with the
These
sheriff
things
himself.
are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt?
No. No casualties at all. Not even any injuries.
That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye.
Desperate people do desperate things. The Rangers kept it from turning into a massacre.
Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this.
Cool. We're gonna have 2 new news stories. Is that our ship? What is that? Or is that the train? That's the train.
I've been pondering a career change.
Where is ship? 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 It is. Zut. Fast traveled. So the whole asteroid getting stuck to your ship, I have heard about that happening. Can you, like, change ships? Like, if you go to your shipwright and change what your home ship is? Like, does it show up when you're landed? I had to put some stuff in my cargo bay too. Oh, my lassie is still parked there. Nope, that's captain's locker. Okay, here we go. First off, all the resources. Miscellaneous. Some books, I believe. Didn't get any new apparel. No new clothes. Suits. The weapons. That's 61 damage. That's 25, but it deals double damage with targets with full health. I was going to deal 50 damage once. Or I can just go with this one. And it'll deal more damage all the time. Probably just keep that on me. So don't forget about it, yeah?
Has anyone ever told you you're the greatest explorer in the settled systems? Well, they should.
Thank you, adoring fan. You're currently trespassing.
Takeoff looks
Jump
good.
it.
Orbital insertion done. Time to dance among the stars.
Where is it? Over here. This way. To Voli. Frame shift drive. Charging. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Frame shift drive engaged.
Grav drive spinning down. Systems green.
Welcome to Freestar Space. We're going to do a quick scan for contraband and you can be on your way.
Knock yourself out.
Alright, we're done. Have a good time in Neon.
Okie dokie. Will do. Okay. Land at the landing pad. Walk on in. If I land here and it says, you're trespassing, I don't know what I'm going to do. It actually does worry me a little bit. So we'll go back to New Atlantis after this, just to see if it pops up again, or if it's all dealt with because the mission's dealt with. Neon Security. Hello. Up to the main street. Get on the strip. Onwards.
All your hectic needs.
Okay. Oh yes. Andrea, we're back on Neon.
Hello. I am happy to help shoulder the load.
Put your suit back on.
Until next time.
To the executive officers. Let's see how this all winds out. Let's see if Ilaria gets her comeuppance. Let's see if Imogen's back. Let's see if we're trespassing.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
Hello.
I've yet to hear anything of note on SSNN. Let's hear your report.
Not a hitch. David Barron should be running the story any minute.
Good. David won't be able to resist a story like this.
I hope not.
He'll do some preliminary confirmations, which will be enough to get the broadcast out to the public. And how did the Neuroamp perform?
Garbage. Was useful.
I thought it would be. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news.
Pretty much.
Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
Infinity Ltd. and Lucas Drexler are currently under investigation for a number of violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barron for SSNN.
Perfect.
Nice.
This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily.
Okay.
But I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members.
Oh.
Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom. So this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith.
How does it gain Ryujin public faith?
Infinity is about to crumble before the eyes of the public. They employ thousands of people, and those thousands of people are now worried about their jobs. That's where we come in. First, we'll issue a public statement expressing disgust at their leadership, but sympathy for the innocent workers. That's when we offer to acquire them.
Okay, so you buy them, no one loses their job?
Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception.
It's what companies
I
do.
suppose it is all very simple when you do not consider the impact on actual human lives. Just your bottom line.
Would you rather they didn't buy them and everyone lost their job? Do you really think any of the employees have value?
We've already done some initial evaluations, so I'm certain of it.
Okay.
Infinity has a lot of appeal being in New Atlantis. I'm sure plenty of brilliant minds are there because they prefer the location. Plus, there's always that handful of people that think they've got something to prove by not working for Ryujin. As if other corporations are really any better.
Okay. Sounds like a win-win.
I'm glad we're on the same page. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them.
I'm not using the tool on them. Yeah, I'm not going to use the neuroamp on coworkers.
Fine. Whether or not you use the internal neuroamp is up to you, but I still want results. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I will make the final decision. I trust you'll get it done.
I'll give it a crack. 13 grand, hey? Not terrible. I have a bunch of people that I need to talk to. What are our yes/no votes? The internal neuroamp and what? For Infinity Limited. Right. You don't have anything to say about this, do you?
Do you need something?
No.
Is
Okay.
that it then?
You, I hate you.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work.
Yeah, I feel like you just want to be difficult.
If I wanted to be difficult, I could make this much harder on you.
Yeah, good job.
But no, this is more than just some petty ploy. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished.
You're all really way too eager to use this on each other.
Oh? Your response tells me Masako must have given you similar advice.
Yep.
It'd be unlike her to not fully exploit an advantage, especially when she believes acquiring Infinity is the right thing to do.
Is it not? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that. She's the one that deserves it most out of anybody. But I'm not gonna do it. Why are you so against acquiring Infinity anyway?
The corporate world will hear SSNN's story and believe Ryujin exposed Infinity because they stole from us. It sends a strong message. But acquiring Infinity could be interpreted as a safety net. Infinity tried to screw us over, yet they still survived. We need to be sending a much stronger message. If you mess with Ryujin, we'll shut you down. Period.
It's heartless to let them die when you know that there are benefits to acquiring them.
Ryujin Industries isn't a corporation built on heart. I think you know that. The benefits may exist, but the message will be stronger. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting.
With the internal neuroamp, best interests don't matter. It can guarantee success on its own.
I can only imagine the contracts that will be pouring in. We'd
I knew that'd
almost be
happen.
literally in control of anything we wanted. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make. I'm looking forward to bringing up a few topics of my own.
I don't like how that conversation went. Mostly because Andrea didn't like it. No, I'm not gonna load there. If I lose the whole vote, then I'll come back through and I'll do everyone again. But I want them to buy Infinity. And I want them to be against the Neuroamp. Like, the Neuroamp, they're gonna do it either way. I don't wanna... I don't want to piss off Andrea.
If only there were more hours in the day. Well, if it isn't my favorite operative, something I can help you with?
Am I your favorite because I haven't had any work? Misako would really appreciate it if you could back her on acquiring Infinity.
Not much to discuss there. I believe I've made my case quite clear to Misako on why I am against it.
Okay. Legal issues aside, the pros of acquiring Infinity Limited far outweigh the cons.
All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset.
I'm not using manipulation on her. The business benefits far outweigh any legal issues. The credits are king.
When it comes to profit, I suppose all my arguments do fall short. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me.
Yeah.
Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom.
I literally just walked up to the lawyer of the firm and went, she's like, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, but money? And she's like, yeah, good point. Have you been preparing to have the Neuroamp on the open market?
Unfortunately. Half my department's been poring over documentation, while the other half is writing up what legal guidance they can.
I'm curious about your thoughts on it.
Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its completion to think about the dangers it could represent. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
You know what? I do enjoy using it personally. And I will use it for good rather than evil. But general open usage of having it on the market is a terrible idea. Is there anything positive you can think of for it?
Tech like this only has good applications when you have complete control over who uses it.
Yeah.
Once that tech hits a market, open or private, that control is gone.
Yep.
And not only that, the tech is out there to be advanced or modified by anyone who might get their hands on it.
Mm-hmm. So why dislike it versus regular neuroamps? Regular neuroamps just enhance a person's normal skills, is that right?
Because the external neuroamps are built to help the user on a personal level.
Yep. Okay.
They aid in reason, communication, confidence, all things that can make the difference in a person's self-image. And yes, they can be abused. But that's why there are laws regarding improper usage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I agree with you. Should have never seen the light of day.
Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Misako is lucky to have you at her disposal, you know? You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has.
Thank you for the compliment.
This exchange has been surprisingly insightful. But now, I really do need to get back to my notes.
Too easy, Alexis. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hello, robot. Okay.
I hope you're enjoying your new neuroamp.
Yeah.
And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope.
Like, are those actual side effects?
What? No, of course not. They're purely theoretical.
Right. No, I feel pretty great.
That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case. One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp.
I mean, it's dangerous. I don't think anybody should be able to mind control each other. Just say I tried experimental surgery. Yeah, how do you think I can mind control people? I have a chip put in my brain. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea.
I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work.
I understand. You really not see the downside of this?
Of course I do. But there are amazing things Dominion can be used for, too. Humanity has always created dangers, and we've always policed them as well. The internal neuroamp will be no different. It just needs to find its place.
You didn't think it was experimental, Albatross? Well, it is. Everybody else that they've tried to do it to, not these guys, there's the other mob, is dead. Except for one. And they're gonna be dead soon, apparently. But I had the proper one, not a counterfeit one. So mine was excellent. You thought that was a different thing? No, it was this. Look, Bina, you're a scientist. Hear me out, okay?
Fine, fine. Make your case.
So. And immediately use it on a... humorous, funny, I'd love to. It's just not a good plan. Look, I know you covered all your bases in your research. You know the data against it is there.
Oh, there is adequate data to back what you're saying. More than adequate. Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world is far from perfect.
Look, you're not a monster. You get lost in the excitement of discovering something new. I get that. And technology today, with the surgeries that we know and the medications that we know about and all that sort of stuff, science, especially related to human health, wouldn't be where it is if monsters hadn't decided to do experiments that they really shouldn't have been doing. That's just a fact of life. There's a lot of accidents like penicillin and stuff that's great. But there's a lot of stuff that came about because people are monsters. Because they're curious.
It is. It really is. For years, my only focus has been, is this possible? And then, how do I make it work? I never stopped to consider if it was right, or what it would mean. I guess it'll be up to a vote either way. It's not on the meeting agenda, so I assume you'll bring it up yourself?
Yep.
We just have to hope the others will see reason. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be?
Do you have any strong opinions about him?
I'd like to acquire them, although it won't break my heart if we don't. Faye may have stepped over a line in her attempt to replicate my work, but she's a brilliant engineer. I'm very curious to see what else she may have been working on and dig into her research.
Yeah, you might want to ask her if she's ever been manipulated by some sort of mind control. Why was this counterfeit? Because they didn't have the full plans for it. They were trying to replicate it from basically the original prototypey sort of paperwork. So they were trying to make it, but they didn't have all the information. So they didn't have the... It wasn't a casing. I can't remember what it was. They didn't know the right metal and stuff. They didn't have the right stuff. And it was this super, super rare alloy, which they didn't have access to. There's bound to be something inspiring or new in their research.
That's what I'm hoping for. They may be the underdog, but that doesn't mean they don't have a brilliant mind or two.
Exactly.
Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
Yep. Okay, as far as the neuroamp is concerned, the only person that's going to side, because Misako wants it, the only person that's going to side with Misako is Ilaru, and Ilaru's a dick. Oh, my burns are stable. They're healing. I have stimulant addiction still. Hold on. We can fix that. Was it clear addictions? No, it's here somewhere. Cures all addictions. Junk flush. Let's... Yeah, let's do this. I don't think I have any foods that give me XP bonuses at the moment either. But I do have... Barrymore. I'm gonna use that. Let's do this. It would prove my point to use it on her straight away. Yeah, it would. But the irony would it be the humor in it.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting.
It would, Corpo Dad.
I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome.
She did. She did. Yeah, he knows what's up. He knows what's up. I refuse to use the Nero Amp to ensure votes.
Good on you.
It would be almost fitting to see the technology immediately turned on those who fostered its creation.
You're the one that did get pissy about it.
Me, I'd have shut
That's
down
why I'm not doing
Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened.
And then use it on him. Don't tell me you actually disagree with Masako on something.
It's not often, but yes. And I'm not the only board member that initially voted against moving forward with the research.
You were against it from the start?
Completely. I understand the success it can bring for the corporation, but my only concern here is security. It's not that the board majority fails to see the dangers. It's that they believe we can overcome them. That hubris could easily bring this corporation down one day.
Yeah.
I only hope it won't be on my watch.
Fingers crossed. We know how dangerous it all is. It shouldn't go to market.
You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new Neuro Amp might cause.
Yep, I get that. Do you think it's the right time to acquire Infinity?
Well, the timing could be better, but I don't feel strongly one way or another about the acquisition.
Okay.
We've gone through our fair share in the past, and this one would be no different. If Masako wishes to bring Infinity into the fold, I will not stand against it.
All right, cool. I think it's worth the work. You guys are pretty good.
I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd. is obviously not known for their security.
It was better than
here.
here.
I hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting.
Excellent.
So I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
And shoot her in the head. So we have what? Shipping dude and PR lady.
I'm glad we're making an effort in our appearance today.
No. You're not logistics dude. Who are you?
Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available.
Yeah, sure. Happy to help and answer any questions you got.
Good. I prefer first-hand feedback when available.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd. Throughout your assignments here.
Yeah?
Do you think they're worth redemption? And why?
What makes you think I actually had enough contact with them to know?
You can tell a lot by just looking at a workspace or simply observing a person in their business environment. Perhaps I mistakenly assumed that as an operative here, observation was a talent of yours.
Careful, bud. I think if we save the jobs of thousands of people, we should do it.
Saving the jobs of thousands is altruistic, which is not a luxury corporations have.
Yeah, I know.
It's a financial burden.
Sure.
It would be a huge undertaking
right.
on my part.
He's CFO. Look, you have the opportunity to do some good. Why not do it?
That is a plea more well spent on Genevieve or Alexis. I prefer to focus on the numbers and leave emotions out of my decision-making.
I get that. Understand. I mean, it sounds like you've already made the decision. So, why even ask?
Perhaps I wanted to see if I could be convinced otherwise. It's easy to say, it's the right thing to do for someone in your position. But for me, Infinity LTD is a huge financial unknown. It's high risk versus mediocre reward.
Okay. I guess I don't have whatever perk would give me the option to just convince him without manipulating him. Fine, fuck it then. Don't worry about it, bub.
Your disdain is noted. And perhaps you thought I'd care because you're hopeful. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation?
I think it was good. Yeah.
And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement.
I'm not supposed to tell people. Misako and Dalton already had a plan in place, did they? Fuck, what did they do? Because they like money. Well, he's CFO, yeah, so he's the financial dude. If I had a perk probably in bribery or negotiations or something, I'd be able to do stuff with him. What happened? So...
I don't appreciate the silent treatment.
You can fucking wait, because you're a dick. So they went... Hilari figured out there was a mole. Well, figured out. Quote unquote. Went to Dalton. Dalton said, yeah, we kind of thought that would be a thing. She remained cool and stuck to the plan. Releasing the information early would only cause panic.
I agree. Should Masako had informed us too early, we may have all turned on each other.
Excellent.
I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been.
What are your thoughts on the NeuroAmp?
It's the next big step for Ryujin Industries. Financially, it'll keep us secure for years to come.
Oh.
There's no doubt it's our future.
Oh. Dangerous. Should be banned.
It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one.
No.
It's the added motivation that will bolster sales.
And then it's like, yeah, and then manipulate him. Can you guarantee all of your employees can afford one?
The guarantee depends on if we're willing to make the financial commitment to outfitting each employee with at least a shielding component. A cost that's not lost on me as CFO.
Sounds pricey. Andrea, you got anything to say on this?
Ah, your companion. I would be interested in another perspective.
You are naive if you think tech like this will remain under control. Think of the NeuroAmp in the hands of a Varun Zealot or Crimson Fleet pirate. It is not a matter of if it will happen, but a matter of when. Will you be equipped to handle the repercussions when that day comes?
What makes you so certain this is inevitable?
Ha!
Not that I doubt the scenario.
Simple. It is human nature.
Yep.
Nuclear weapons, chemical warfare, xeno-warfare, mechs. Enemies and competitors will get their hands on this tech eventually and reverse engineer it to use however they see fit.
Yep.
I admit, you've properly pushed my concerns to the very edge. Your friend here is quite convincing. The internal NeuroAmp does indeed come with risks, none of which I am inclined to take anymore.
Good.
This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
And then we have... Who else is left? Who else we got? Ah, yes.
Could we talk?
Hell yeah. Andrea wants to talk too. Genevieve.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side?
Pretty much. And why would you think she sent me?
Because that's what I do.
Okay.
You want something in this business? You don't pull any punches. The only
You
real
push them.
question is just how persuasive she asked you to be.
I mean, it depends on which side you're on.
Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. It just so happens that her agenda lines up with mine.
Yeah.
We just need to grab Infinity Ltd while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light.
Manipulation. No. What's the benefit of acquiring Infinity?
Infinity is that sad company in distress with thousands of employees terrified of their futures right now. We are the warm embrace of security coming to rescue them.
Right. Okay. Coming to rescue all those innocent workers will look really good.
I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year.
Good, good, good. If you really want to keep Ryujin in the public's good graces, there's one big thing to consider.
All right. I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it.
Have you considered how powerful the neuroamp is?
Of course, which is why I know it requires some very delicate handling. But unlike Alexis, I believe we can get the proper restrictions and regulations in place to have a marketable product.
Nah, I
we
don't
do it
agree.
every day with weapons we arm ourselves and our ships with.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. It shouldn't be allowed.
The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from.
You really think that a product can manipulate unknowing citizens will be accepted by the public?
Not when you word it like that. But a product that can settle disputes or help broaden someone's point of view? Then you really have something that consumers will buy into. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
I have things I wish to discuss with you.
I wasn't finished with you.
When you have time.
Yeah, I know. I get it. You need to talk too. I wasn't done with you. Oh, whatever. That's auto-saved. Whatever. It's fine. Really, all you need to do is go around and point out what would happen if a horny dude got this and told every woman he saw to get naked. It doesn't quite work like that. I know what you mean. It doesn't quite work like that. So the way that it was... Oh, pardon me. The way that it was described, it's more like if somebody has like certain morals and that sort of stuff, like you can't get somebody to do something that is so against what they are comfortable with or what they would do normally themselves. It's just like basic actions and shit that it wouldn't work. It would, because it would clash. It's sort of like subtle, not influence, like minor suggestion. Like you are telling people like, pick up that pen. Right? But if you're out in public, you can't be like, walk out into traffic. For gameplay, you could get them to do different shit. But law-wise, like you wouldn't be able to get somebody to, you know, jump off the rig into the ocean or something, because their self-preservation would kick in, because they'd be like, no, you could trick somebody to stand in a place that is dangerous as long as they wouldn't know subconsciously that it's a bad thing. But it's like, you wouldn't be able to just go to somebody, hey, get naked, if it wasn't something that they would be comfortable to do should that moment arise anyway, you know? But I know what you mean. It is an example of it, yeah. Alright, let's go to this meeting. Take a sit. Nope, hold on. It and do this. Do this. Andrea won't sit in the chair. Sit in the chair! Imogen's
All
not
right,
here.
everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
That dude has jaundice anyway. Psycho hasn't steered you wrong yet? No, don't do that. Don't say that. Because then they'll be like, oh yeah, we should actually vote for the NeuroAmp. Infinity Ltd would put the employee's mind at ease.
The operative is right. Legal ramifications are a certainty, but the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages.
Arguments?
Infinity Ltd could be the Pandora's box of financial and legal risks.
Yeah, you're a dick.
I simply cannot support an acquisition.
We should be crushing our competition, not rescuing them from their own flaws. This is a weak decision, Masako, and you know it. In fact, I move that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
Yep.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Yep.
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Imogen was another victim. Alaru set her up.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Mate.
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
Nah.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Suck shit, cunt. I told you wouldn't get away with it, bud.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up?
Yeah, I think work on the NeuroAmp needs to be shelved.
Well, the internal NeuroAmp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it?
The moment anyone learns about it, no one will trust anyone, especially Ryujin.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
I must agree. We can't go through with production on technology like this until certain safeties can be guaranteed.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye. Nay.
Vina?
Huh?
Prep Project Dominion for storage. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
He said nay after all that?
So much work to do.
I thought he was like, yeah, it's probably not a good plan. Oh no, because he was like, it's your next 10 years. That's right, I didn't have an option to tell him.
We're making an effort in our appearance today.
Oh, mate. Hello.
Shelving the internal neuroamp. Not the outcome I anticipated.
I mean, the board agrees. Decisions for the best.
The truth remains, Lucas Drexler learned a hard lesson, and we exposed a traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin.
Quite a compliment coming from the CEO.
It's well earned and deserved. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
There was no honor in Ularu's plan. It did not deserve to succeed.
Yeah. How often does Ryujin have someone turn against the company?
Not often, and certainly not to this degree. We have the occasional employee consider selling information, but thanks to our security and operations teams, we always catch them before any damage can be done. This was the first time anyone from either department was involved.
Right. I mean, no pressure at all. These are the types of jobs I live for.
I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future.
Andrea.
Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative.
What does that mean?
You've more than earned it.
What's the details on the new position?
As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
Okay. 6,000 credits, 8,000 credits. And an achievement. Okay.
Can we speak for a moment?
Yeah. Why does everybody want to talk to me? What is going on? What just happened? Why does everybody want to talk to me? What did I do? I feel like I did something bad. No, just walk away from me. What's up?
I suppose now you can add climbing the corporate ladder to your list of accomplishments. I think it is perhaps for the best that the research program will come to an end. Where that neuroamp technology could lead, there are many bad outcomes. Too many.
What's the worst outcome you could think of?
I was going to say that everyone with an internal neuroamp all trying to control each other would be the worst. But perhaps even more dangerous would be only one person managing to control everyone else.
It'd be a disaster.
Already there has been too much conflict between corporations vying for this technology. First Infinity, then Ryujin. Who knows what might be next?
Yep. Ryujin might try to take over the world. Or worse, all the worlds.
That is certainly a possibility. The wrong goal, or the right goal approached by the wrong methods. And yes, disaster is a good word for it. The project will be shelved, they call it. As I said, too many other bad outcomes. This is for the best. With the neuroamp matter settled, we should move on to other things, yes?
We should. Should.
Ah, hello. You do not need to ask me if you may ask.
Damn it.
So, yes. Goodbye.
She wanted to talk to me from the last conversation that I had with the PR chick, right? Because she was like, hey, have you got a minute to talk? And that was great, because it was like, hey, she's been liking all the things I'm saying, and she's reached this next point. And then literally the last conversation I had with Misako, where I'm like, no, don't stress, the job wasn't that hard, I love this sort of thing. She's like, I don't like that, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Deputized. Why deputized? Oh, no. No, sorry. So confused. Like, why did that pop up? Talk to Imogen, yes. Let's go find Imogen. Let's go find somebody on the operations floor first to find out what this job is. People think I'm cool. I thought I was in trouble. You've been waiting here for the whole time I've been doing this quest. Oh, Imogen's on the operations floor. Of course she is. Hey, Lane. G'day, stranger. How you doing?
You've certainly shaken things up around here. I still can't believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day.
I mean, you did introduce me to Ularu by saying, this is Ularu. She's a cunt. It's good to see you back in the office.
And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions?
I don't get to deal with you directly anymore?
No, but try to see that as an improvement, since I certainly do. The mission board is more efficient for both of us.
Oh. What is the mission board?
Well, after this conversation, you can head up to your office and see for yourself.
Wait, my office?
Just think of it as a computer that lets you pick and choose your assignments at will, rather than having to deal with me all the time.
What kind of assignments are they? Are they what some might call radiant assignments? Procedural assignments?
Nothing you aren't already familiar with. You experienced the majority of what we do here during your training, if you recall. Uploading a few files, manipulating a narrative or two, obtaining schematics, it's just more of the same.
Okay, I guess I don't have any more questions.
Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and congratulations, of course.
Can I access the board outside of Regent Tower?
No, only within the tower. The security risk would be far too much to allow access to that data in a public space.
You're gonna run this place someday, you know? Even if this is the last conversation you and I ever have.
At this point, I wouldn't doubt it. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy. Just for you.
You mean it? Okay, I'll go check the board. Where's my
Don't
office?
cause any trouble.
This? Nope, this is in my office. Well, they have a mission board. Wait, is this my office?
Hey.
No.
Congrats on the promotion.
Hey.
I hear it's well deserved.
Which was this one? Nope. This one. That's my office. This where I live. They gave me a gun. Space adept. Suppressed. No. Wait, what? Is that 2 guns? Oh, there's 2 guns on the rack. There are 2 guns on top of each other on the rack. That's supposed to be. That's how it is. Instigating assassins, refined Grendel. And some ammunition. And some other ammunition. What else you got? What's here? What's this? Okay. Yep. Alright. Chems. Yep. More instigating modified refined rattler. Okay. And a positron battery. And some ammo. Digipix. And a computer that doesn't work. That's my bounty board. You get out of here. Hack Strat Steyr. Plain evidence at Demos Steyr. And sabotage Hope Tech. Plant an arc device at Hope Tech. As usual, don't get caught. Oh, that's horrible. That's where we went to do that in the first place. I don't know if the quests... So I wonder, I'm curious. I'm curious if the quests, as you, like, progress through them... Because these 3 are... Basically, they're the first few quests of the original quest line, right? Because I had to go into Celt Corp. I had to hack a computer in there. I had to plant evidence at a place in Aquila, and I had to sabotage Hope Tech, which is wanting me to do again. So I wonder if they are radiant as you do the quest. Don't know. But now you become bad guy. No. No, I just keep doing the same job. What we were doing all along. You're planting evidence. Yes. Yes, indeed. Hello.
I heard what happened at the outpost. I met most of the people there. It's hard not to feel somewhat responsible.
Why?
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
I can't believe
I run this
Ulo's
place.
gone. I figured her for CEO one day.
She was a cat.
There's always work to be done. Pace yourself, but make it a fast one.
Are you the one that wanted me to get the thing?
What is it? Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, he was the one that wanted me to get the thing. You have a name?
At the New Atlantis
Do you have a name?
Star Embassy. That'd be a good way to gather intel.
Oh.
This intel could blow a whole operation out of the water.
There's a gala at the Freestar Embassy? That sounds awesome. Goodbye, Lane. I might be back one day. But you were awesome.
If you have the time,
Yeah, she wants to talk to me. But for VOD viewers, that brings us to the end of this chapter. The end of Ryujin. We'll probably come back and do some other bits and pieces down the line. We'll probably need to. But we've completed the Ryujin questline. And after we come back at the beginning of the next chapter, we're probably going to have a chat with Andrea. Andreja. We'll have a talk with her. And go out on some other adventures. Now we quit by shooting them all. No, not yet. But yes. So if you're watching this VOD a month from now, a year, 10 years, or long after I'm gone, I'm sure you'll hear from me again. You're awesome. I will talk to you soon.